Well, President Obama may be ready to appoint an Ebola czar at the White House. President Obama says it makes sense to pick one person to be the go-to official for all things Ebola. He also touched on calls for a West African travel ban where Ebola is running rampant.
I don't have a philosophical objection necessarily to a travel ban if that is the thing that is going to keep the American people safe.
But the president says experts are telling him that a travel ban would not be effective. He also expressed concern for the two nurses who contracted Ebola in Dallas. Nina Pham is now at the National Institutes of Health in Maryland. Before leaving Dallas, she was able to crack a smile. In a video posted online, she joked that everyone should come to Maryland and laughed before she wiped away a tear. But there are some serious concerns about her fellow nurse with Ebola, Amber Vinson. She's already in an isolation unit at Emory University, but now there are worries that she may have had symptoms as early as a week ago when she flew from Dallas to Cleveland. Frontier Airlines and the CDC are now reaching out to hundreds of passengers who were on flights earlier this week using that same plane. And then there's this. A worker from the Texas Health Presbyterian Hospital is now being isolated in a cabin aboard a cruise ship. That person boarded the ship a few days ago before learning about the new monitoring rules from the CDC for travel. There are also hearing that there is a lab tech on this cruise ship. That person didn't have contact with victim Thomas Duncan, but she did handle some of his fluid samples. So far, that person is showing no symptoms. In Bermuda, they're getting ready for a nasty visit from Gonzalo. It's a Hurricane 4, or Category 4 hurricane, I should say, packing sustained winds of 130 miles per hour. The eye is expected to hit sometime this afternoon or this evening. In trouble for Hunter Biden, the son of Vice President Joe Biden. It's now confirmed that he was discharged from the Naval Reserve earlier this year after testing positive for cocaine. The 44-year-old says it was the honor of his life to serve, and he deeply regrets and is embarrassed by his action. And now the Blade Runner is going to have to wait a little longer. Olympic star Oscar Pistorius leaving a South African courtroom earlier today after a week-long sentencing hearing. He's already been found guilty of culpable homicide in the shooting death of his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp. He faces up to 15 years behind bars. The judge is expected to hand down that sentence at some point next week. And take a look now at these then and now pictures in San Francisco from 25 years ago today. A quarter century ago, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake slammed the city by the bay. 62 people died and 12,000 were left homeless. A lot of us saw it happen live as it hit the beginning of Game 3 of the World Series between the A's and the Giants. And now, 25 years later, the Giants are back in the World Series, beating the Cardinals 6-3 in Game 5 of the NLCS thanks to a walk-off home run by Travis Ishikawa. They face the Royals, who so far this postseason are perfect, winning 8 games with no losses. Another Newsmax Now update for you in 30 minutes.